Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to the United Stand. It's Sunday Night Live. That means it's Ricky, Adam, and Saeed on the show. And it's such a long week. It feels like such a long week that we were celebrating third place. We're going to talk about that. But we've got Europa League football coming up on Wednesday. There's some big transfer updates as well. And towards the end of the show, somebody actually sent me an email this week. I thought it was a great idea. And basically, there's going to be two players, and it's going to be sell or keep. So basically, it might be Lingard or Pereira, which is quite an interesting one. But they sent me a big list, and some of them are going to be players that we're never going to sell. But you two you've got to choose which one you would keep if you had to. So it could be like Pogba against Bruno or something like that. But we'll do the ready ones first. So that'll be a bit of fun towards the end. Well, Matic isn't on there, but I'm going to make a Matic one up. But let's start off with the Europa League. It kicks back off on Wednesday night. We've got last links. We're 5-0 up. I mean, I reckon they could play us 4 and we'll be all right. We could. Yeah. Ricky could roll back the years as Matic. Well, to be fair, Saeed, it could be Harry Beckenbauer, but he scored a hat-trick on his debut for the pro clubs team this afternoon, so he could be up front as well. I don't know where me and Adam would be, but I'll start off with you, Adam, on this one. Europa League's coming up. I think we all said before that we've got to go out and try and win it, but some really good thoughts that I had today were that, I don't know whether you saw the FA Cup final yesterday, Pulisic pulls his hamstring. He's out for next season now. You know, that's how close next season is. So next season's so important for us. But then, as we've seen with Arsenal fans, although, you know, Wigan won that trophy and where are they now? Arsenal won't shut up today because they've won a trophy. We'd like to win a trophy as well, but that next season is so close. Do you just go all out for the Europa League, or do you have to start thinking about, you know, we know he'll play a dodgy side on Wednesday. He won't play his strongest, but are you expecting them to come back in after that? Do we go all out for it? Or do you think, well, you know, I'm one injury away to a first teamer and we've got a problem at the start of the season?
It's scary now because, like I said, I think on the radio they were saying, you know what, this FA Cup started on the 8th of August 2019. It's just finished on the 1st of August 2020. It's been going on for so long. But the point you made then about the injuries, I think Pedro dislocated his shoulder as well, didn't he? That looks bad. So two sort of creative. I know he was linked. I think he was going to Roma, I think. Anyway, Pedro, his contract was up. But Pulisic, massive player. If that happened to like a Bruno or a Pogba for us, then I'd be sort of bricking the start of the season. So it's a fair point. I still do think that we need to go for the competition. I just think that we're going to be playing them in friendlies anyway in a normal pre-season. This is a little bit more more competitive. But I mean, we can't bubble wrap all the players, can we? We have to play them. This is going to be a bye for us, obviously, in this leg because we're already through. And like you said, I'd be playing at centre-back, by the way, mate. That's where I'd be, and I'd be dominating it. We'd have a clean sheet, no problem. But no, I mean, I expect to see a few fringe players this week. And then we're into 3 games, hopefully, 3 games, because that means we're in the final. And I do think we have to go and at least make a good, decent attempt at getting a trophy in the cabinet as well, because we've heard all the crap that Arsenal fans are coming out with. Arteta in his first season and all this garbage.
Can I just jump in there because I'll forget? Right, I want to ask all 3 of you quickly and then we'll go back to Adam to finish up. Would you rather win the FA Cup or come 3rd in the Premier League? Like, quick answer.
Yeah.
So,
3rd in the Premier League. 3rd in the Premier League.
Yeah,
3rd.
why?
3rd.
Yeah.
Because
Ricky?
Champions League football.
If you can't do both, if winning the FA Cup means you're not qualifying for the Champions League, then definitely qualifying for the Champions League. Even 4th. Yeah. Even 4th is better than winning the FA Cup.
Yeah, I saw somebody today saying it. I think Perry Groves said it, but he's an ex-Arsenal. I could never stand him as a player. So, and I met him outside Wembley actually last year, and he's still a little snidey sod. But he's a nice guy, really. But he's going to say that as an Arsenal player. But I saw somebody saying this today, and they were like, you know what? In years to come, history will show that you won the FA Cup. It won't show you that. I thought this is such an old-fashioned approach. The football's moved on. I don't think Wigan look at that FA Cup and go, oh, we won the FA Cup. I think they look back at it and go, we used to be. In fact, I know a couple of Wigan fans and they were like, well, we used to be in the Premier League. We'd swap that for that FA Cup because that was a great time in our history. He said, we remember being in the Premier League more than we do winning the FA Cup. That was a bigger achievement for us. So, you know, there you go.
Yeah. Well, like you said, look where Wigan are now. So, I mean, the FA Cup seems to have only fallen into insignificance since Arsenal started winning it more frequently, doesn't it? So when you look at their league position every season, it's just one of the competitions now where, we used to wake up and watch it, didn't we? We used to watch the whole day on TV, even if it wasn't your team playing. The coaches, the run into the final. It used to be a really good day, a full day of TV on BBC, but it's just not important anymore, is it? Champions League and the Premier League have taken priority for every club. And I'd be surprised if any club said any different than that in terms of the ones that are really fighting at the top of the league. So, no, I think us going for the Europa League, I think just because it's 3 games away, I think we go all in on it, mate, personally.
Ricky, I mean, look, what I would say is that Pulisic thing did worry me a bit last night. And that's why I put it in the notes for today, because I don't think a week's long enough. And that week feels really long to me since we beat Leicester. At the end of last week, I was thinking, is it 2? But it's not. It's only a week. They were back in training yesterday. So they basically had 5 days off. We've got this game against Last Links where no one will play of any relevance, I don't think. Then next Monday, we've got a game. And then semi-final, if we get there, we're probably going to have to play Wolves, who are going to be mad up for it. And then the final could be maybe Inter Milan or Bayer Leverkusen. So there will be 2 really tough games there. Now, how do you think Ollie approaches it? And do you think there is any point in thinking about, resting players for the start of the Premier League season?
No, I don't think there is. No, I think we've got to try and win a trophy. Like you just touched on Arsenal winning the cup and being over the moon with winning the cup. And you posed the question to all of us, would you take winning the FA Cup or top 4? And I'd take top 4 every day of the week. But if we were going to finish 8th and you said, well, you can win the FA Cup, I'd say, well, come on, we'll win the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? So, I do want us to win a trophy. And at the same time, it's that difficult winning the big trophies these days. It's that difficult. If you was to say to me now that next season we're going to get top 4 and we're going to win either the Europa League or the FA Cup, I'd take it. So if I take it next season, we might as well go for it now, might we? Well, we've only got 2 really tough games to win it. And it's a trophy in the cabinet. So I think we should go absolutely all out for it.
Saeed, you're in agreement with that? Just a little bit of a different question for you as well. I mean, I know you're going to say let's go for it. Does it, Wednesday night, literally, how would you approach that? Would you just play the reserves? And then do you bring the first team back for next Monday, or do you gradually bring them in a little bit? Or, if he picks McTominay and Fred and they do well, which they probably will against Last Links, but do they then come out the team for Matic and Bruno and Pogba on Monday?
I think you could get away with putting an absolutely entire 11. And for me, once I would never blame Ollie. Like, I wouldn't, because I feel like it's absolutely justifiable to play a whole new 11. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Mata, I'm talking about Dallo. You're talking about, everyone that's not been playing any game, Jesse Lingard, them sort of players that I would be absolutely be like, you know what, go for it. But in terms of going forward, I would probably put a mixture. I've said it before. I think on the United side, I've said it before. I want to win the Europa League because it gives a mentality of the players saying, you know what, we're winning stuff here. Gives Ollie his first trophy. For Ollie to win that first trophy, he can build on maybe next season and think, you know what, we've got a winning mentality here. And I feel like this is not going to be the season where 2017 where we played Ajax, Anderlecht, you know what I mean? Them sort of teams where everyone's like, oh, look at United win the Europa League against them, you know what I mean, minor teams and whatnot. But I think now to beat Sevilla, you got Inter Milan in there, Bayer Leverkusen. You got tricky players in there, Catafe's in there, Wolves. You know what I mean? I think it's a tricky players, So, but like you said, though, that Pulisic injury scares me, And with that week off, would other players been lethargic? Have they been doing the muscle training? And you know what I mean? With our medical team, they're absolutely atrocious. So, have they been doing things that we've been known to do? And I'm just worried. I'm thinking, if one injury to Bruno, God forbid it happens, and I hope it doesn't happen, but that could derail next season. Absolutely derail it. And then you're looking at, wow, we've got to spend 8 million on Grealish. We've got to spend 80 million on Grealish because we need a creative midfielder. We can't lose Bruno Fernandes for 6 to 8 weeks because the season's starting again next season. So for me, it's massive to win it. But if you say to me, you know what, Bruno Fernandes and Pogba are going to stay fit and they're going to be not injured all Europa League, I'll probably say Bruno Fernandes and Pogba stay fit. I really would. And it sounds daft, but next season there's a lot to play for. There really is a lot to play for.
This is interesting. I mean, I think that. Look, if you said to me, you can wrap Bruno up until the start of September and the Premier League season starts and he doesn't play at all, I mean, realistically, that just sounds absurd, doesn't it? We're just not going to do it. And I don't think I would want to do that because I think what will happen is when the football comes back on Wednesday, this little break we've had, we'll be like, oh yeah, and then you're into knockout football. I mean, I can feel a bit of a buzz now. I don't think I feel it at the moment, but I think when it kicks in next Wednesday and certainly next Monday, because we will go through, you're 3 games away from winning what, like Ricky says, which is a big. I mean, the Europa League is more important than the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. The only thing it's second to really is the Premier League and the Champions League, of course. So, and we're 3 games away, and I don't think Manchester United, it's not in our mentality to ever go, well, you know what, let's play the reserves. We're 3 games away from winning something big. But I think collectively, and I'm sure everyone in the live comments is saying it as well, there is that little bit of a concern that it is difficult to do what we've got to do.
You also got to remember European football. I don't want to call it stereotypically, but players like to leave on things in terms of, the cheating and almost slide tackling, you know what I mean? Getting away with like elbows and whatnot. So it's a bit like, for me, it's a bit like, I don't know what, it's a different type of football to the players. And will they be used to it? Someone leaving a leg on them and then the referee not finding out about it. You've seen it with the Nani thing. Nani puts his foot in the air, perfectly looking at the ball, red card. You know what I mean? Them sort of stuff will go against us. So will the players be prepared for that? It's quite a difficult aspect. Then again, it's only 3 games, like you said.
There's a good point. Would we be saying this if we're in the Champions League and that kicks off next week? And I think we've just got to take it as a big tournament and go for it, haven't we? But we should also be eye-open to the fact that the Premier League season's so quick. And like I said, when Pulisic got injured and I realised it was hamstring, that's 5 to 6 weeks. Well, Premier League starts in 5 weeks, so he's out, isn't he? This is what I was going to talk about this anyway, but Donick Hin says, just want Ricky's reaction to Chris Smalling possibly coming back. I want to talk about the centre-back situation, actually, for the next few minutes. So, as we understand it, Chris Smalling, Vertonghen's off to Roma, which may mean that Chris Smalling won't be staying there. There's a bit of a to and froing about whether he's worth it. I think he is. But 48 hours, because Roma are in the Europa League as well. They want Smalling to play, but Manchester United are saying, as is our right, if you want him to be in the Europa League squad, then you're going to have to do a deal that we want to do. So at this point, Ricky, looks like Smalling could be heading back. He's not. I tweeted this earlier. If he was left-footed, he fits the bill, but we need a left-footed centre-back. That's what we need. What's your thoughts on the Smalling situation? Because you are a fan of his.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Chris Smalling. I think he's a top centre-back. But I don't think... he went to Roma in the first place because he wanted to play. They didn't force him to go. He wanted games in. All he wouldn't guarantee him game time. And fair play to him. So he went to Roma and he's settled in there well. He's learnt the language. He wants to stay there. I'm amazed they can't do a deal. If you believe what you read, we've been asking for about 18 million and they're supposed to have offered 16 million. I can't believe we haven't taken it when the player wants to stay there. If all those things are true, I think it makes us to be a bit of a disgrace, if I'm honest. I mean, look, he's gonna come back. We're still not going to play him, or we're going to end up taking 16 million off somebody else when he actually wants to stay where he was in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think he's being treated fairly, mate. And I think he's a top player, mate. He'd be in my team, but I don't think he'll come back to United and be in the team. I think we should, if it's true. I mean, obviously you never know if it's perfectly true, do you? But if they've offered 16 million for him, I think we should accept it.
He's too good, really, Adam, isn't he, to come back? I mean, he's one of those players that, as Ricky said, he went there because he didn't want to stay. He wanted to go on loan. I don't think there's a path back to Man United for him. I don't think he necessarily wants it. But on top of that, he's not like a Phil Jones or a Rojo who you think, if someone pulls out, who else is going to take him? So, he's surely a player that we will be able to move on. I mean, I'd say there's probably 4 or 5 clubs in Italy would take him because he's been so impressive.
Yeah, definitely. It's like Ricky said there, he went away because he wasn't going to get first-team football. The conversation was had with Ollie about him not getting enough games. Maybe he wasn't happy with the way we wanted to move forward. His passing is not the best for me. His defending is fantastic. I do like him as a defender. He's brilliant in the air. Probably the best that we've had in a long time in the air, Smalling. But does he fit what Ollie wanted to do going forward? That's probably why he's made the decision himself. And like Ricky said, credit to him for going looking for football. There'll be plenty of takers for it. I think there'll be plenty of takers for him. I do feel like 16 million, he'd take it. You've got to move him on. I mean, City are looking at spending 41 million on Ake, for God's sake. So I think City's sort of just trying to inflate the market right now.
That's exactly right, isn't it? I just said that this morning. I mean, if we were doing that, I think we'd all be here saying Banter Club. 20 million I would have paid for him. 25 tops.
Selling buying Ake for 41 and selling John Stones for 20 million. I mean, I think John Stones is still better than Ake, to be honest. But Smalling, for me, going back to him, I think he has got attributes that suit us right now, but there is something there between him and Ole that isn't going to suit. And I do think that we need to sell him on. 16 million, fair enough. You know what I mean? I think the Italian, it is a good price. The Italian league suits him. And obviously, we know Italy's not rife with money at the moment. So I think 16 million, we should be just saying, look, 2 million off, like Ricky said. Let's just give the guy a chance, let him carry on playing football, and then just use that money to improve us. Because I think him, Jones, and Rojo all need to go this summer.
Pau Torres, Zaid. I'm going to be like you with Grealish now. I'm going to be like, I'll get all these names wrong. Pau Torres, Benoit Bernardeschi. I nearly called him Bernardeschi, who plays for Juventus. Badiashile, that's his name. Benoit. I've got it written down here. Badiashile. Benoit Badiashile, who's a 19-year-old left-sided centre-back for Monaco. And Gabriel, who we were linked to yesterday. Not the singer. Gabriel. Don't worry. Not the singer.
Well, you said it's quick.
He is quick, yeah. The one, we were having banter there. So I said that Gabriel's quick, and Saeed put me up his FIFA card, which is 58 pace. And of course, Twitter being Twitter, really thought that Saeed was being serious.
They rinsed me.
Yeah. But 3 young centre-backs, left-sided, tall, quick. What you I know you like Koulibaly. I saw you going on about Koulibaly again today, but realistically, that price, I said yesterday, president of Napoli said the other day, 80 million quid and anyone can have him. Well, we ain't going to pay 80 million quid.
We'll just be talking about Smalling. Why don't we do Smalling plus 40 million and get Harry Maguire and then get Koulibaly?
Oh, so Smalling's worth 40 million now?
No, 40 million. No, 40 million plus Smalling. That's about, 55 million? You know what I mean? Maybe, okay, say 20 million. 20 million plus the Koulibaly. I think we can do that. I really could do. But I just feel like, yes, it's unlikely. But for me, Pau Torres, I like him as a player. But is he going to be good enough to the robustness of the Premier League? You know what I mean? When's the last time we had a top Spanish defender in the Premier League?
PK, we let him go back, didn't we?
Well, there you go then. Gabriel, for me, he looks all right. Touches here and there, sprays the odd ball behind. But again, man, is he one of them that will fit into the Premier League? Koulibaly will fit into the Premier League and will be a mainstay. That's what we need right now. I understand.
But he's right-footed, isn't he? Koulibaly's right-footed.
No, he's left-footed, isn't
he? Let's put it to the chat. I don't know.
Get the FIFA cards out. This one.
He looked right-footed. On the clips that I saw on Twitter today, he looked right-footed.
I think he's right-footed, yeah.
He didn't look like a very good right-footed either.
I hope for your sake, Saeed, he's left-footed because you've gone on about him so much. If he's left-footed,
right-footed, Saeed.
Oh no! Oh my God!
Don't let him be a scout director of football.
Oh my God!
I've bought him for you, Ollie. 80 million. Told you left side.
Oh man! But then they say left.
He's got his right foot, mate.
160 million for 2 right-footed centre-backs.
Oh my God, no. That's changed everything then. I thought it was left-footed.
No, that's it. Game over now. Game over.
You've been watching the wrong player. You've been watching somebody else.
Left-footed. I'm sure he's left-footed.
Been looking at his teammate, whoever he plays next to.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. But you know what? Right, we're getting Pau Torres then. Honestly, I thought he was left-footed all the time.
He does play off the left. I think he's another Maguire. I think he plays off the left, but I think he's right-footed. So
right then, we're gonna okay, but still, yes. No, I'm gutted, mate. I'm really gutted, mate. I really am. Honestly, I've been thinking left-footed centre-back. We got him. It's a perfect one. You know what I mean? I'm gassed about. I was like buzzing, and then I found out he's right-footed. Yeah. But then people are saying he just play well on the left, though. So maybe there's.
Yeah, but so does Maguire. That's the problem, isn't it? I think you need a left-sided left centre.
Does Maguire actually want to play on the left? Because what I can't understand is when we had Smalling and Lindelof playing, who were both right-footed, Lindelof played to the left and Smalling played to the right. And Maguire now plays to the left, and Lindelof's been shoved over to the right. So if Maguire actually wanted to play on the right, would they not have just kept Lindelof on the left where he was playing in the first place?
I think Maguire does like playing off the left.
They can't work it out. You know what I mean? If we're now looking for a left-footed centre-back, I assume that means we're going to move Maguire to the right. Well, why ain't Maguire playing on the right anyway and Lindelof still on the left like he always did?
Well, there you go then. So
maybe there must be something in it. There must be something in it like he's requested that. There must be. I mean, I'm not for the left and right hand. In fact, I played both, to be honest. I think it's a cop-out. It's ridiculous. You should be able to play both as a centre-back. I mean, look, our cover left-back's right-footed. So, you know what I mean? You should be able to play with both, especially as a centre-back. It's about reading the game and understanding the game. So I'm not having it at all. If he's left-footed, don't care. If he's right-footed, don't care. You're a centre-back. Deal with it.
I think it's really important in the modern game, though, because, I mean, one of the things that infuriates me is that now centre-backs can go into the penalty box. We see most teams, whether it's bloody Norwich or Liverpool, they all pass out from the back, don't they? It gets them into trouble. But I think that's why it's really important that when you've got Harry Maguire and Brandon Williams on the left-hand side, they're both right-footers. And if you are a coach and a decent coach, you can really exploit that. Whereas
what about Rio Ferdinand, though? Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, they were both right-footed.
I know, but the game's moved on. That's what I'm saying. This playing out from the back deep, I think it really helps if you've got a left foot to ping it down the line. Whereas a right-footer, you're on that left-hand side and your body is naturally that way. And it's not a simple pass down the line. So I think a left-sided centre-back is a good call by Ollie. But and I hope there's something in this Gabriel thing. I really do. I think he looks decent. I think the Monaco lad looks decent. But it'll be interesting to see what we do, because we certainly seem to be looking at a centre-back, Ricky. And the Grealish deal from when we were speaking last week, looks like he might have be priced out of a market because Villa are wanting, well, as Adam was saying, if Aki's going for 40 million, then Villa have got every right to say 70, 80, which I think puts it out of our reach.
Yeah, I would think that would be out of our reach, especially if the Sancho deal's going through, as most outlets seem to think that's going through, don't they? If we're going to spend all that on Sancho, I don't see us pulling up 80 million, 70 or 80 million quid for Grealish. If, like you said, if they'd have got relegated, we might have stretched to 40 odd, maybe 50, but I can't see him finding 70 million quid for them. I really can't.
And the centre-back, I mean, look, there was a question before, I must just ask it you actually. They said, who does Ricky see as Matic's understudy? Should they be going in the market, or do you think that McTominay or Fred or someone like that? Because I don't think Matic will be able to play 60 games, although he thinks we might win the league next year.
He's said a lot about Garner, though, Matic, hasn't he? He's been talking about Garner quite a bit.
Yeah, he likes Garner. I think Matic will only have to play 30 league games, and he won't have to play in the League Cup and the FA Cup necessarily, or not very often. In the Champions League, he might only play in the big games. In the Champions League, there's always there's always a one whipping boy, and then somebody else who isn't that clever in the group stages. He might not have to play quite so many games as you think, Matic. You know what I mean? And then touch wood, in them slightly smaller games, McTominay's good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe you can get away with that if you're looking to buy someone. I hadn't really watched a lot of that Declan Rice until post lockdown, and I've watched him closely a couple of times since then. He does look the part. I wasn't necessarily convinced beforehand, but I hadn't really watched him closely beforehand. Do you know what I mean?
Saeed was on about him, and then he realised he's not a forward; he's a CDM. So
no.
He's another one, though, isn't it? He's another one with them West Ham owners. Now that they've stayed up, they're just going to inflate it, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's just another one. It's been a stupid one.
Yeah, the question was, who would you like? I mean, maybe we can get away with McTominay as cover this year, and maybe if Declan Rice can perform as he has done recently all through the season, maybe he's the one we go for next summer. You know what I mean?
Or maybe United just go in an option where, like, for example, there's people like Everton that are going for Allen, who plays for Napoli. I know he's 29, but you know what I mean? He's a versatile CDM. He can play in both pockets. Maybe United just need to go for players that maybe under the radar, maybe like a Milinkovic-Savic or something like that. Under the radar, where he's very, very good in quality, but he's not going to be a kind of a with the British value of Rice and what's his name, other players where there's inflation. There's inflation on them. I just think we've got to be smart. Maybe Maybe start with Jamal Lewis. Go for him for about 10, 15 million. then start again. Just keep going smoothly. That's what City do. City went in low key for that right hand side of midfield. I don't know what his name is. What's he called again? He plays for Valencia.
Rodri.
No, the one that they bought from Valencia, the right winger.
Oh, Ferran Torres. Yeah.
Yeah. 23 million, guys.
No,
Man United never do that. But what City do is they have good structure. They go in there, low key. They don't talk about it. They don't say, we're going to get this. We get Neil Ashton and all of them involved. They go in there and they get it sorted. They get it done. Man United never do that. It's like, oh, look at us. We're going to go buy Sancho. Oh, yeah, Dortmund find out on the newspaper. Yeah, you know what? Here's another 30 million on top. We've got to be clever about our situations, and we need to just go in there under the radar and go grab them, kidnap them and grab them and get them out of there.
There's a good point there just from Barry Haynes. We don't need to talk about it, but he's right. He was saying, Van Dijk may well be a right-footed, left-sided centre-back for Liverpool, but what he does really well is he transitions from back to front really quick. He can hit the ball 50 yards to Mane, and Lindelof and Maguire. Everyone praises them for bringing the ball out from the back and their passes, but you never see them hitting that sort of 40, 50-yard pass. And I think that's very important because Matic isn't really that sort of CDM either. So we not, I think every team wants to pass out from the back, and we're quite good at that. But I think what you're looking at with that Gabriel, he's quite good at that. That might be why we're looking at him, because he's a left. He can ping a goal. He can ping a ball, and we've got the pace. We're stupid not to try and do that more. That pinging ball 40, 50 yards. The Pogba does really well, but no one else does. It's
like you said then, though. It's like in terms of I think Liverpool's defence is a lot better than their midfield. The fact that we've got Bruno and Pogba in front of our defenders makes them give it to them even more. Because then you're going to have the Pogba and the Bruno hitting that pass instead of the centre-backs. Sometimes I think you're right. We do need to mix it up, but I think when the centre-backs get the ball, you look into a Bruno and a Pogba who demand the ball, and a Matic as well, who are all good on the ball, then I think we just straight away automatically think, let's just play the ball into them rather than going at it, rather than being commanded like Virgil van Dijk does, dictating play from the back straight away. I think that's where it's probably different for us, because I don't rate Liverpool's sort of midfield compared to ours on that side of it. I think Liverpool's system works well for them. As a quick transition has to be quick for them, otherwise they don't work. So much of Liverpool's goals come from their back four, whether it's their fullbacks or that transition from back to front. Like you say, their midfield is very good, but on paper it isn't as creative as ours is. But they're very good at transitioning, and I think Ollie will have spotted the fact that we've got three very, very quick, skillful players who need the ball fast, and we don't always get there. I'm going to do this. This comparison to thing, which I think everyone's going to like in a few minutes, but I do just want to talk about the goalkeeper situation very quickly. I'll start with you on this one, Saeed. So first of all, Schmeichel, the son, talking about Schmeichel coming to Manchester United, and also
does he not like De Gea? Seriously, Schmeichel, what's wrong with him?
No, Kasper Schmeichel coming to United.
Oh right, okay, go on.
Yeah, that's a story today that Kasper Schmeichel's coming to United as they tried to offload De Gea. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that. Obviously, you weren't aware of it.
No, I thought Pete Schmeichel said that Kasper Schmeichel would be an ideal fit for Man United, because I don't know what it is with Pete Schmeichel. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I don't know me. It's what is the end of is he 32, 33 now? He's a good keeper. Don't get me wrong. He's a solid.
He's older than De Gea, yeah.
He's a solid keeper. He comes out of his box quite quickly, which is very, very good if we're playing the high line. He's a good shot stopper, but for me, if he's not better than De Gea, so why would I want him? For me, I don't care what people say, but he's not better than De Gea, and I just feel like David De Gea, for me, he's had a poor. In terms of the amount of mistakes he's made for a keeper of his caliber, he's had a poor season. But at the end of the day, he's come out with the most clean sheets, is it, or the most golden boot? What has he come out with? The most clean sheets. Hey? Clean sheets, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? Obviously, I don't know if that says well about him or about defense. I don't know, but David De Gea, for me, on the goalkeeping situation is the Kasper Schmeichel for me should have come to United, but David De Gea for me has one last chance, and I love David De Gea. I really do. I think he's been a quality servant to his football club, but he's got one more chance. What I would then do is have showdown talks. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talks to Henderson. He says, "Listen, you're part of the squad now. As soon as David De Gea has a rocky patch, as soon as David De Gea is making mistakes, and as soon as David De Gea looks one of them where he's just lost it, you're coming straight in. You're coming straight into the team. And then we can go from there." But I just feel like what would happen is, for me, Romero, he's never going to be our number one. He never was one. And no respect to David Romero. He never was. That gives no competition to David De Gea. He's almost imperious, David De Gea. He's thinking, you know what? I've got the whole world at my feet now. So, David De Gea, one more season for me. I've always said it. I love David De Gea. It's been a servant to the football club. But as soon as I see mistakes creep into his game, then for me, I'm sorry, but Dean Henderson's given a chance. Then Dean Henderson flops. Then we go buy another keeper. we go buy Oblak.
This week, Ricky, there's been talk of Henderson being given a massive contract, making him one of the best paid players in Europe. And there is a link about Romero going to Leeds. So we could well end up with a situation where we've got De Gea and Henderson at United next season. Do you think that in a goalkeeping situation is a good idea? Or should Ollie really be saying, this is my number one, the other one's got to go on loan? Because that's surely too good. And I don't think it would be helpful to have a player like that good on the bench if you're a goalkeeper, because you want to, it's all in the head, isn't it, goalkeeping? So do you want to be there thinking, oh, one mistake, I'm out, and it works both ways?
It's a good question, mate. I mean, I like Romero, so we should really be thinking like that when we've got Romero on the bench. I know he got his chance against Norwich, and he maybe should have saved that goal against Norwich, but he's had some good games for us over the years, Romero. I don't think there's any harm in having some pressure on the keeper, knowing that there's a backup there that can challenge for your spot. I think we're already in that position. I don't think Romero's a bad keeper at all. But if he's going to bring Henderson back, I mean, it'd probably be better for Henderson if he was playing regularly. Mm. Tough question, mate. Really, he's a professional footballer. At the end of the day, if they want him back and they're going to put him on the bench, that's up to them. I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Really, you do want competition for places to start with, so it might be a good thing.
I mean, I rate them both. I just think from goalkeeper is such a unique position, Adam, that to have, I think it will do both of them more harm than good to know that even if you start with Henderson, he's like so much pressure. The crowds will be back at some point next year. De Gea's sat on the bench. The camera's on De Gea every bloody mess up he makes. Ollie goes, right, you had your chance. De Gea, you go in. Keepers on Henderson every time. Always made another mistake. I just think goalkeeping is one of those positions.
It's like Carroll on there. Tim Howard all over again.
Yeah.
Tim Howard and Carroll, one of them used to come in and...
keepers are going to make mistakes, aren't they?
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? It's like I was always for competition for places is a good thing, but you make a fair point there. With the goalkeepers, it's obviously slightly different, isn't it? I mean, you look at what's happening at Chelsea right now, though. You've got the so-called number one goalkeeper in Kepa, the most expensive in the world, I think, still. And you've got someone like Caballero coming into FA Cup finals. So the big-name goalkeeper doesn't always work that well. It's sort of what's working for the manager and the system. I mean, I don't like the way De Gea plays the ball out. I'm not a fan of him on the ball, to be honest. But you can't deny his shot stopping. Do you look at someone like Romero? I mean, he's not let us down, like Ricky said. I remember being at Molineux when he kept us in the game. I think it was the FA Cup one. He can save after save after save. And every time I've watched De Gea against Wolves, he's got nowhere. He's got no presence there at all. He's not like that commanding goalkeeper. But then you look at like what Saeed says, then he has been one of our best players. It's a really tough position to be in because Henderson's not going to wait around now. He wants the England shirt, and that England shirt is up for grabs. He has to be playing. He has to be playing. I mean, he's been bigged up by everyone. Does he come to United and sit on the bench? It's a big question, big one for him. And I think for him, what you just said, then it's hard because it could hamper both of them in a way, like you just said. Then it's a hard one to pick.
I think for Henderson, I would say, you know what, I'm happy to go to Sheffield United for another year because we'll get in the Euro squad for England and then let's see where we are next summer. But yeah, just quickly on that one, Adam, then the Romero to Leeds thing, that becomes a bit of a no, though. Then if Henderson goes on loan, we can't let Romero go. But he might want to he might want to go for the reasons Ricky said because he's not getting enough game time.
It's unfair on Romero because every time he's been in, he's done nothing wrong. And do you know what? Sometimes I feel like the defence feels a lot more confident with Romero behind him. He commands his box better. I do think he comes out, claims the ball better than what De Gea does. He's not on De Gea's sort of shot-stopping qualities, I don't think, although he's not bad at that. But for me, I just feel like he's completely up to him. Is he happy being it? He's been happy at United for a few years now as number two. So does he all of a sudden change? I mean, he just seems to be happy doing what he's doing. But if he does go out, I think he'll be credit to wherever he goes because he is a quality goalkeeper. I mean, you don't get that many international caps for someone like Argentina if you're a poor goalkeeper, and he's going to be an acquisition for wherever he goes to. And I think we'll miss him, to be honest, as a number 2. I really do, because someone like Grant, oh well. You know what? It's not.
He's
even
a third choice
league.
keeper, isn't he? Whatever they are, he is a third choice keeper. He's the one who goes and gets the balls at training.
I don't think Henderson's coming as a number 2. I think he should go to Sheffield if he isn't going to be number 1, and Romero should stay behind De Gea. And I think United should make it priority just to get that ironed out as soon as possible. No messing around, because we've seen with De Gea when he's sort of not knowing where his situation is, what he can be like. And he needs to be settled, De Gea, and comfortable. So I think United need to get that sorted as quick as possible.
I think the ideal situation is Henderson goes on loan, De Gea's number 1, and Romero stays as the backup and probably gets a little bit more game time in relation to Carabao Cup, and maybe give him the FA Cup as well, and keep him happy that way. Because ultimately, I just think that De Gea's contract says he's got to be first choice goalkeeper as well, because these things do exist. People think they're just there on Football Manager to make the game better. They do exist. Why did Alexis Sanchez always play off the left wing? He's on massive money, De Gea. I guarantee he's got something about being first choice goalkeeper if he's fit, because we wanted him to sign a contract. What I want to talk about next then, let's do this. This is going to be good fun. So basically, got this idea this week. It was sent in, and they were talking about players that might leave the club, and then it sort of developed into. So what I'm going to do is going to give the lads 2 names, and they have to say who they get rid of, basically, and they have to say somebody. And with some of them, it will be players that we are going to sell, but some of them are players that we're never going to sell, but they've just got to choose who they would get rid of. It's basically who their favourite is. So we're going to start off. Well, we'll start off with Lingard or Pereira then. Who would you keep and who would you sell if you had to keep one? And we'll start off with Saeed, Lingard, Pereira. Who goes and why?
I'd keep Lingard because of the morale he'd probably give to our club, and the fact that he could work well. You see the likes of when we played against Crystal Palace to give that energy or things that go well. I think Pereira, for me, he's had his chances. He's done well in pre-season. He's turned into pre-season Pirlo, like people said, but yeah, he's had his chance now. He's getting into the 24 now, so yeah.
Lingard's had his chances though. He's had bloody loads of chances. He's had more chances than a cat.
It's won us finals though. Mark Goldman. He's won us the FA Cup final. You know what I mean? He did the dance. The Michael Jackson dance. I'll never forget that. That's moments that, them moments. You got to cherish them moments for me, and I always say that, man. So for me, Lingard stays. Pereira, bye.
Ricky.
I'd go opposite to that. I'd keep Pereira. I think. I think he's a couple of years younger in age, and Lingard's. You'd probably get a few more quid for Lingard. There's to be taken into account. I don't think either of them should be getting first team game time at all. So I think you'd just get a few more quid for Lingard. I'd sell Lingard.
I like that from Ricky though, because Saeed's gone from the footballing ability, but Ricky's actually thought who's going to get us the most money, and he's right. I think it would be Lingard. Adam?
It's if United are being selfish, and we're looking at both of these players not playing, which they won't. None of them get into the matchday squad, do they? When everyone's fit, we've seen that. Then what do you judge it off? I mean, Lingard dances better with Pogba. If we keep Pogba happy by keeping Lingard, then I go with Lingard.
Lingard's bigger mates with Rashford, and he's good mates with Sancho. So
there you go.
So morale.
Forgot about that.
Morale. I'll go.
He's like the mascot, isn't he? We're turning get him in the Fred the Red suit. He's a lucky mascot. Poor old Jesse. Bloody hell! Is that what he's become? He's a bloody cheerleader. But,
he's an absolutely well overpaid steward, isn't he? Then at that rate,
yeah.
That's what you can say.
So, Lingard's already won because he's got 2 out of the 3 votes. Just to say, I'm not sitting on the fence. I think I probably would have gone with Ricky. I think that I think I respect Lingard more than Pereira. I think he played in a World Cup semi-final. He has won FA Cups like Saeed does, and I just think at 27 he should be playing first team football for someone. It's just not United. I think Lingard should be wanting to go. And I agree with Ricky. We'd get the most money for him, and we can use that, and he can go and get a career. So I would go Lingard. Pereira, I would agree though. I don't even know what he is. I don't know whether he's a Preston player. I don't know whether he's a Villarreal player. I couldn't. If someone's with Lingard, I think Lingard could play for Newcastle. He could play for a mid-table Premier League club quite comfortably. Pereira, I don't know. Is he good enough for Preston? Is he good enough for Bournemouth? I don't know. He's an oddity in that sense. But yeah,
pre-season Pirlo, mate. That's what he is.
Pre-season Pirlo. Okay, we'll start off with you, Adam, on this one. It's an interesting one because it's not that neither are going to go, but we'll mix up some that are going to go and some that are actually going to be staying. McTominay or Fred?
Phew.
That is a good one.
Saeed's going to hate me. Fred's going.
Oh no!
Fred's going.
Oh
Fred's
no!
Going. Yeah, no. For me,
he was a best player before lockdown, Adam.
No, mate.
Oh,
McTominay was improving alongside him. I just feel like McTominay has got a bit. I think he's suited more to the Premier League. I think he can get better than what Fred is. I see McTominay scoring goals. I don't see Fred scoring goals. So for me, McTominay, I think he's suited better to our team when he comes in. I don't think he's first team, but if I was picking off one player to come on when we really needed something, or one player got injured and we had no one left on the bench but Fred or McTominay, I would always bring McTominay on because I know he's got a better chance of scoring a goal. I just feel like, I'm not saying anything bad against Fred. I just don't feel like any of them are going to go.
Yeah.
I think McTominay's probably my man, that's all.
Saeed?
Nah, man, I can't believe it, mate. I can't. I respect your opinion, Adam, but Fred has been our best player before lockdown. We were saying him. We're calling him Pastor Fred. We were calling him, you know what I mean, player of the season.
McTominay was good, though.
McTominay was good in patches, but I just feel like Fred has got a lot to offer. And we're not getting the best out of him yet. Still, we're not getting the best out of him. And I feel like he's been disrespected by Ole. I really do. I feel like not giving him a game, not giving him games ahead of Matic for me. I don't know why. Must have been poor this Aston Villa game. But yeah, I'll sell McTominay, mate. I love McTominay. He's from the academy, but McTominay doesn't have the skill. Fred has the skill and the quality, and that's the difference for me. So Fred in, McTominay out.
Just for everyone who's tuning in, they're wondering what the hell's going on. We're in the second half of the show, and we always do something that's a bit fun. So we're basically they're being given two players, and they've got to get rid of one. There's better to come, but at the moment we're doing Fred McTominay. So Adam's gone, get rid of Fred. Saeed's gone, get rid of McTominay. Ricky, Fred, or McTominay, and why?
Fred's
considering these are the heirs to your Matic throne. You're the kingmaker here.
Yeah, it'd have to be Fred. He's nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
Nowhere near what?
He's nowhere near being able to do that holding role. McTominay's not. McTominay isn't Matic, but he's a lot nearer to being a Matic than Fred is, and I think we need somebody that can come in and hold that position. Like we've just said, you know, Matic can probably play 40 games. I think McTominay can play 20 games. I wouldn't like to see Fred playing that position for 20 games. So I'd definitely keep McTominay.
I don't know. For me, McTominay's got a level above this, you know, and that's no disrespect to McTominay. I think we've seen the best of McTominay, you know. I really do. And that's
I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's there yet.
I don't think either of them are good enough to be a Man United centre defensive midfielder. Personally, I don't. But I think the one that's got the growth in him is McTominay, and he is very well thought of within the club and has been for a long time. And a couple of years ago, I couldn't see it, but a lot of people were saying he is it, and we have started to see it. So I just hope we'll just have to see. We'll move from that one into another good one. They don't play the same position. I don't care. You've got to get rid of one. It's Matic or Harry Maguire. We'll start with you, Adam, on this one.
Easy, come on, Adam.
You've got to Matic or Maguire. Then I think it's easily made because of the age as well.
Maguire's about 27, isn't he? 28, 27.
Yeah,
27.
I think no, Maguire stays for me. Matic goes simply because I think Maguire's got more years left in the tank. I think both have been very good this season, especially Matic towards the back end of the season has been excellent. But for me, Matic has to go simply because I think we've got more to come from Harry Maguire. Matic will say himself his contract is the best of what he's got left. And if we're saying that Matic is going to play 30 games a season, Maguire's going to play 50, innit? You know what I mean? Because he's played every single league game this season.
He hasn't played them all well, though, has he?
We're talking about two players there that we're going to struggle to replace if they're both out of the team right now. There's no one to replace either one of them. So it's a tough one to call. I'm just going on it simply because Matic is coming to the end. I know he's 27, Maguire, and he's not a young spring chicken, but I just feel like he's got plenty more left in him than what Matic has in his career. So I'd go with keep Maguire and let Matic go.
Ricky?
Well, obviously, you know that I'd normally say keep Matic, but you've got to take into account the age when you're thinking of something like that. But also two different positions. Agree with what Adam said. We haven't really got adequate cover. If in either position, if Smalling was to come back and wanted to play for Man United from now on, I wouldn't be against letting Maguire go and keeping Matic, because Matic just in front of the back four also makes the back four more solid. But exactly as we are now, without any cover for either of those two players, I would have to say, I'm afraid that I'd have to let Nemanja go. And I hate
it. Wow, that's going to shut up the live comments there. So, Saeed to bring home the hat trick, it's easy. Your blood pressure can come down.
Someone clip that.
Go on, are you going to say Matic then, Saeed?
No, no. Harry Beckenbauer staying for me. We conceded 54 goals last season. This season we conceded about 37. So it just shows you what quality Harry Maguire's bringing. So Harry Maguire in. Sorry, Matic.
I'll tell you what, that backfired a bit because the real one was Maguire or Lindelof. But would anybody vote any different? Would you all go Maguire over Lindelof if you had to get rid of one?
Yeah.
Lindelof's out.
Yeah. Ricky?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I'd probably say keep Maguire, yeah. Especially after you've paid 80 million quid for him. What are you going to get back for him? 40?
Yeah, probably about right. This is a good one. Dalot versus Brandon Williams.
Oh,
I'll go with that easy.
I think this is an easy one.
Dalot's probably the worst buy I've ever seen, honestly.
Really?
Honestly, I won that 20 million. Mourinho spent 20 million. Just remember this guy. 20
He'll be going
million.
to Barcelona though, or PSG.
I don't know where he's going, mate. He can go because he's shocking. He can't defend. He's a right back and he can't defend. And when you're a right back, you can't defend. For me, that's danger signs already. So Dalot out, Brandon Williams in. Simple as that.
Ricky?
Well, Brandon Williams is getting plenty of games. He also plays pretty. I know Dalot plays both sides, but he plays pretty comfortably off both sides. Brandon Williams, don't he? We're not seeing enough of Dalot, I don't think. I don't think he's as bad as Saeed's saying, but I would probably keep Williams. Yeah, keep Williams.
Adam?
Yeah, I'll make the hat-trick up. Keep Williams. There's a club for Dalot. I don't think the Premier League in a back four suits him. I think maybe as a wing back, it sort of suits his game more. But for me, Williams, I think definitely is more adapted to the Premier League. So yeah, Dalot goes.
Yeah, definitely. That's a clean sweep there. This is going to be fun. It's never going to happen, but it doesn't mean I can't put you on the spot. Martial or Rashford? Adam?
Yeah.
You have to come to me first.
Well, I mean, I just must say we all love both players, I think.
Yeah, of course.
And it's never going to happen. But if Woodward goes and goes off to Monaco on his holidays and spins the wrong thing, and he's got to pay it off quick, we've got to get rid of a big asset. It's bye Marcus or it's bye Martial. You've got to sell one. Which one goes?
I think if you was going to sell either of them, you'd get a lot of money. So someone's going to have to pay over 100 million, I think, to get either one of them, to be honest. I think I give Rashford and Martial sort of my players of the year. So it's, in terms of the most improved players in our squad from the season before, Rashford and Martial were definitely up there. I love Marcus Rashford. I just feel like Martial's nailed down the centre-forward position at the moment. I'm probably just... For us, I think... we'd struggle to replace Martial as a 9 in the way we play. I don't know how I'm sort of wording it. I don't know if I'm wording it right, if that makes sense at all. But yeah, it's Rashford a difficult one.
Though. Rashford helps the team.
Rashford does do a lot.
Yeah.
Is there a number 9 out there to replace Martial in the way he's playing at the moment? You could probably say if you went out and bought a really expensive one. It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. It really is. I just feel like, oh crap! I think Rashford probably goes just about, but I know it's an even one. I'd just say because Martial's nailed down the new position this season, I think Martial probably nips in ahead of him right now in terms of the way he's playing right now. That's what takes it for me. Rashford goes and Martial stays.
Saeed?
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be Martial in, Rashford out. But then again, there's a good argument to say, though, without Rashford, though, does the team work as better and functions better as a team? I think
There's no doubting they're both fantastic. We're just saying one's got to go in a situation that's never going to happen.
Look at the assists they've made for each other as well this season. It's a horrible one.
Together, that's a good point. Yeah,
I don't think very good together.
Yeah, I just think Rashford sometimes though is one of them on the left hand side for me. He's unbelievable, and I've always said it from day one. And I know I said some things about him when he was playing up front, and maybe in hindsight,
we all know, Said. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I just feel like on his left hand side for me, he's unplayable. He really is unplayable. But Martial, mate, as Ricky says, Martial FC. You know what I mean? He's unbelievable. So yeah, Martial in, Rashford out.
Ricky?
Yeah, Martial in, no problem.
Yeah, you know. Oh, yeah, no. I know there was that famous clip of you saying about Rashford. I'm not going to tell everyone what it was because it's not fair. We're not that sort of channel. But that was a long time ago. I mean, I presume you're happy with Rashford.
He played like that night.
Yeah, no, we've all said it about. Look, yeah, I've
context.
Martial and Rashford are probably two of my favourite players. But at the end of last season, I was like, if they want to go, bloody go. I thought they were disgraceful in the shirt, and that's for me is why this year they deserve so much plaudits because they are talent, but you've got to deliver that talent, and they've done that this year. The interesting thing is, I don't know whether anyone would disagree with me. I think if Manchester United had the choice, they would definitely sell Martial, even though all of us are saying that Martial is the more valuable player, is the better talent at the moment. And, you know, the way these two are, it could change very quickly. They're so close. But I think Man United would not hesitate to let Martial go over Rashford, maybe because of the youth or whatever. I don't know. But, let's hope that never happens. I've got another difficult one in a minute. I don't think this one might be quite difficult. De Gea or Henderson, if you had to sell one. Ricky, you can go first on this one.
That is a tricky one. Whether I'll talk about. Do you know what? I'm going to say if we could sell him, obviously it's going to be difficult to sell for the amount of wages he's on and going to cost. But if we could sell him, I think I'd let De Gea go, and bring the younger keeper in.
Interesting. Saeed?
I'm not too sure, you know. I'd probably still keep De Gea. I don't know what it is with me. I just feel like Henderson, is it different when you play in Sheffield United? When it's
he's untested, he is untested in United.
It's untested, you know what I mean? I just feel like David De Gea has proved that he still can do it on the biggest stages, and he still is there, still got the qualities. I just feel like Henderson's just not made it yet. So for me, De Gea in, Henderson out.
Adam, decider?
Tough because we're just talking about what we would do then with Henderson and De Gea, aren't we? So the fact that De Gea's never played that Henderson's never played a game in United shirt, is sort of swaying me on keeping De Gea because we just don't know what Henderson's going to be like. I want to see Henderson get a chance. I'm going to say that now. I want to see Henderson in the United shirt, but in terms of De Gea still not finished career-wise. For goalkeeper, you can go on to we all know what age, but I just think that I'd probably get rid of Henderson because I've not seen him play at the highest level yet. And that's all I'd judge that one on.
Well, Jam15 in the comments just said that they're all playing the same team, so I'd go Henderson. But I mean, that's like saying playing up front for Norwich is the same as playing up front for Man United. It should actually be easier to play for United, but actually it's a lot harder because the expectation and the focus is there. So it's the same for the goalkeeper. If you play for Sheffield United in goal, your expectations are low because you're not expected to go and win games and keep clean sheets, which is why he's had a good season, Henderson. But all the lads, 2-1 to De Gea on that one. Imagine if the players are watching this. Says Oscar. Well, it's just a bit of fun, lads. In which case, if you are Bruno or Pogba, switch off. You've got to get rid of one, Bruno or Pogba. You knew it was coming. I was warming you up with Martial and Rashford. Bruno or Pogba, one has got to go. Who do you keep for Manchester United? Not necessarily who's the better player, but for Manchester United Football Club as a Manchester United fan, which one? If you've got to sell one. You know, again, Woodward's there again. I've messed up again. The Glazers are there. We've got to get a bit of money, Ollie. You've got to get rid of one of them. I've got offers on the table from Real Madrid and Barcelona. I'll accept both. Which one do you want us to keep? And I'll start off with Saeed on this one.
You knew he had to come with me. You know what? I'm going to have to sell Pogba. And only because he's had a lot of time to prove that he could be consistent, and he hasn't done it. Let's be honest with you guys. He hasn't proved to be consistent enough. So I'd say majority of the years he's been here. You know what I mean? He's showed flashes, and he's showed that he can be a world-class player on his day. But for me, Bruno, I said it before, Bruno is the key to Man United's success. And Man United have got to build a team around Bruno Fernandes. The way he's come in, Bruno Fernandes, and transformed us from being, well, there you go, us from being like a kind of a top 10 side to almost, let's be honest with you guys, he's absolutely galvanized his team to get into top 4 and 3rd position. His goals, yes, you could call it penalties or whatnot, his goals, his assists, his drive, his endeavour, you know what I mean? Absolutely brilliant. So for me, Bruno Fernandes has been a catalyst for Man United. That's why he's ahead of Pogba. Pogba's been okay, but has he shown for him to carry us like as Bruno Fernandes has? I'm not too sure, you know.
Ricky?
I don't quite agree with all the hype that it's Bruno. I think it's just timing. I do think Bruno's been a great catalyst for what has happened, but he's come into the team. The team's got stronger as the year's gone on. Matic came into the team in December/January. Bruno came into the team in February. Pogba got fit and came into the team. Let's call it March. It would have been March except for lockdown. So he's come in at the right moment. Now,
do you not think though, without him though, we would have got top 4?
No, we wouldn't. But hear me out.
Yeah.
Let's just say Bruno would have been with us since day one at the start of the season, and he was playing with Fred and McTominay and Lingard all through the season. And let's just say, for example, we didn't have Anthony Martial until February. And then when Martial came into the team in February, so did Matic, so did Pogba a couple of weeks later. Then the same thing would be being said. It's a jigsaw that's fitted together. And he happens to be the one that's come in at the moment as it's all fitted. That's the way I see it. But he has made a difference. But so would the others if they'd have come in at that moment. Anyway, I'll get rid of Pogba.
I love that. It's like Jeff Stelling, isn't he? You know,
a
goal in his ear. Manchester United, they've been banging the door down. They've had loads and loads of chances. I tell you what, Coventry have scored. But Adam, which way are you going then? So Bruno's got really here.
So we've got a very good team. We know we've had quality in our team, but Bruno's the gravy on the Sunday roast, isn't it? Nothing comes together without the gravy. He's cemented it all together. For me, he has absolutely galvanised. It's not just what he does with his assists and his goals. It's the fact that he's making players play better. He's making the game move quicker. He's making players think differently, and you can see that when you're there at the game. And for me, he definitely stays ahead of Pogba, because I just don't see Pogba having that influence on the team as what Bruno can. We can all say, like Ricky said then, how we want to see it in terms of players coming in at certain times, and timing is big. But if we're judging it just off Pogba and Bruno, then I see Bruno definitely influencing us more than what Pogba is. Not saying that Pogba's not brilliant, like we said with Martial and Rashford, but for me, Bruno just does more. I think he just does more and will carry on doing more. And even when he's playing bad, I just think he's just going to still do the nitty-gritty stuff. He's still going to run around and cover more miles. I just think that's what we need in between them two. Pogba's a Rolls Royce. Bruno's just the energetic. He's just going to keep going and going. So I think Bruno definitely takes it over Pogba.
There you go, Bruno 3-0. If you have to get rid of one, Pogba or Bruno, and Bruno gets it, which I liked all three explanations as a culmination. Really, I liked all three because I think Saeed was right that the team is with Bruno in it has gone up a level, and Pogba has been here 3 years, and it's only the start of Bruno's journey. And then Ricky and Adam, the impact that he's had on everybody else, I think, is a big factor. Whereas maybe that's not been the case with Pogba. But at the end of the day, we we don't want to lose either of them, and hopefully Pogba will sign a new contract. And then this one, just for a bit of laugh, I'm just interested if anyone will go different than what I think. Matt, I'm not doing that. Bloody hell, you're not popular enough. Mata or Sanchez. We'll go Ricky last on this. So Adam, you go first. Mata or Sanchez, very quickly.
There's no question. Sanchez, see you later, mate. I don't even need to debate this one. I've had my say on Mata.
He's doing well in Inter.
I don't care. The influence that guy had on Manchester United was a disgrace. How he came in, he was ready-made Premier League player. There was no question that he was made for us. And for him to do what he did and sulk and not put in the same sort of effort that he did against Arsenal, I won't forget. I thought he would have been a world beater for us. And that is one of the all-time Premier League worst transfers in my eyes.
Best paid player in the Premier League history, isn't it?
Yeah, I will never, ever take Sanchez over Juan Mata. And Mata's days are numbered for me. I'd still take Mata over Sanchez because I think Mata will do more behind the scenes as well. I really do. And you know what? I think Mata would put in more of an effort off the bench as well if he was just a squad player between the both of them. No chance that Sanchez gets in ahead of Mata for me.
Saeed?
Yeah, I got to agree. You know, I was trying to debate in my head thinking, do we need the quality of the bench? But I just think the morale of the squad, it would be absolutely stinks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he'd come in and just sulk around and, you know what I mean, try to create a division in the camp. Yeah, for me, Mata's a good guy, you know what I mean? He's happy to be on the bench. And, you know what I mean? We want to make Ricky cry. We're losing Matic as well. And Mata, we don't want to do that, do we? So we'll let him have one, eh?
Hey, Ricky, so you're not going to shock us and say Sanchez, are you?
I'd definitely keep Juan Mata. And I'd give him a bit more game time than he's getting as well, but a lot more. Yeah.
I think he's coming towards the end, Mata, but at the end of the day, Adam's spot on. I mean, this is, you know, so the club above the talent. I think Sanchez is probably the better talent at the moment. He's proving that, but you know, there's things you don't do to a football club, and he's been a joke. So yeah, I'd keep Mata if he was bloody 65, let alone 35. So, there you go. Okay, so look, smash a like on the video, everyone. It's been a fantastic video. We've whizzed through it. I always like the fun that we have at the end with it as well, and we've obviously got a big week ahead, and this time next week, well, look, unless we lose 6-0 at home to Last Lynch, we'll be on the eve of a quarter-final of the Europa League, which I think is a week tomorrow on Monday. So lots to look forward to. And look, that, you know, we've not really spoke about transfers or Sancho, but that is, the transfer window is open. There's going to have to be some moves very, very soon. But thanks for coming on, lads. I'll do the round robin as usual. Saeed?
Yep, United Central on YouTube and at realist_187 on Twitter.
And Ricky?
Rick the Red UK on Twitter.
And also, Adam, I'm just reading something about Twitter. Adam?
Yeah, hit me up at Mad Red United on YouTube, and all my socials are on that page there as well.
Somebody was just saying, Antonio Conte is likely to leave Inter Milan at the end of the season, according to Sky Italia. The number one choice to replace him is Allegri. That would be...
Poch is still on sabbatical.
Yeah, Poch is still there, mate. I was hoping you'd say Poch. Oh, no.
That would be weird, though, because they're buying up players at Inter Milan, and he spent loads of money there. You'd wonder where Conte's off to. I don't
no, really... Did you not hear what he said, though? He said something about the board. He gave a cheeky dig at the board, saying, look what I've done for this club, and no one's recognising what I've done. So I don't know if there's a bit of something going on there.
That's bad news, because Sanchez was a deal. But then again, I think the president likes Sanchez. He's spoken very, very glowingly of Sanchez. So hopefully, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit who Inter's manager is. They, as long as they keep buying our shit, I ain't bothered. So they've done us a big favour with Ashley Young and Lukaku. Now do it with Sanchez. But yeah, anyway, we'll see how that develops in the week. Thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like, and we'll see you on the next one.